doing like fiery enchantments on garbage. Talk.
Alright, let's go back. Let's start from the beginning. You've joined this WoW guild. Is this right? Yeah, okay. So you're gonna stream your game on Discord?
I'm streaming right now. Yeah.
Alright. Okay. So your guild is a bunch of noobs, basically. They're... Well, what's the name of the guild, first of all?
I got left the guild, it was so shit. I'm literally like solo leveling. I leveled from level 1 to 40 by myself. Didn't join any guilds. Joined a guild at 40 to go do raiding.
Right.
They told me if I want to raid with them, I had to download like a whole list of add-ons. Like how to play the game and like swing timers and
Quest helpers.
all this other quest helpers and like
Nobody knows like how to do the quest because they're like, did they not play vanilla?
maybe they haven't.
Talk to them
They're
about
like retail. Well, some of these people said they play classic, and some of them said they played private servers. But like, I feel like if you play private servers, that you're like you know how to quest, right? Like, you had told me about like the Barons, for instance. I was trying to tell some of these guys like, what do you mean you're having a hard time questing? Like, go to the Barons and gather up all your quests, and then when you complete them all, you go and like back to base, you hearth back to town, and you turn them all in. People are like not doing leveling like efficiently, or they're trying to. Some of them said they were following like a leveling up guide, so they're looking on Wowhead and how to do like the quests in the most efficient like manner or something. But I'm like thinking they're wasting so much time doing that when they just play the fucking game. Like, if you look at my character here...
Yeah, so our theory was that they didn't know how to read because the newer generation, like, there's a certain percentage of people don't know how to read. But you're saying these are like 45-year-olds like me.
Yeah. They think they're...
So that
because
doesn't make sense.
They're telling me they play classic.
They're not Gen Zs. But you're playing some kind of weird mod that you have, like, these special skills, right? Like, you're playing a melee hunter, which is more DPS than a marksman hunter. Which makes sense.
Yeah, marksman is the worst class right now for DPS. It's, like, lower than everything. But they made... Okay, so...
Tell the enchant story, first of all, and the guy that was level 70 before you started.
Okay, so that was on Wrath Classic. So I joined Wrath Classic. I was fresh character. Actually, I could show you.
Is that a retail Wrath of the Lich King, or what is that?
That's retail, but they came out with like classic version of Wrath of the Lich King, like where everything was like reset. So I can actually log out and I'll show you that. Just gotta go back.
Well, don't have to show me. We're just making a video.
Okay. Well, basically, what happened was my friend from a different game was like, "Hey, I'm gonna make a guild in Classic WoW. You want to come play it?" I'm like, "I already did Classic WoW." I was like, "Oh, Classic Wrath of the Lich King. Oh, that sounds neat." I join, and because they're trying to catch people up to like Ulduar was coming out soon, so Blizzard came out with a 100% increased XP buff that does not go away if you die. You have it forever, like until you hit max level.
Yeah.
And so in 3 days, I was able to go from level 1 to level 80, also working like part-time, right?
Yeah.
People in this guild were unemployed, most of them, and they had played for 2 weeks. They had 2 weeks ahead of me, and they weren't level 80.
Just trying to get the last 10 levels. What were they doing? Did you talk to them?
Well, it just seemed like a lot of times they were just going AFK and like watching YouTube, and they'd be sitting and looking for group all day long, looking for groups. But me, all I did was just kill everything. Like, there's plenty of mobs everywhere.
You don't have to sit in town while you're looking for a group.
Yeah, I was wandering around doing quests when I was looking for a group. So, like, they weren't utilizing their time.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they get to Scarlet Monastery and they just sit in Scarlet Monastery. Well, this is like a max level 40 cap server, right?
Yeah, it's 40. So people are just sitting in Scarlet Monastery, like, twiddling their thumbs. Or
a lot of people just,
right?
They grind Scarlet Monastery because they want like a full set of Scarlet Monastery gear and they don't need it. They just like, whatever you get, you move on. You're going to out-level it anyway. You get better shit. Like greens that are better.
Well, yeah, like I'll show you that, the auction house, for example. I don't know if you're streaming my view, but look how insane these prices are. Look, So the new level cap, level 50, is coming out soon. So people are even buying up their best in slot level 41. So look at this level 41 shield. It's
Hmm.
not even very good. It has got 10 spirit, 5 stam, 10 shadow resistance. It's going for like almost 200 gold. And then there's boots that aren't very good. Plate boots of agility, 155. So like the prices, I couldn't even afford any of this shit when people were telling me I got to go buy my bist. So like
Well,
my
like
best,
low level epics are high because it's like a rich person thing. Because
but
nobody just uses an epic low level. Because
well you
why would you?
well that's what I was thinking. But then people are telling me
The gut ripper I could see
Millie
maybe.
Hunter, Millie Hunter. Some of the people were running around with this dazzling longsword because it has a chance of it decreasing your target's armor by like 100. But it's like,
Who cares?
who cares? Like, what do you
Well, that
do?
says
Like,
40 gold though.
well, this one's 40 gold, but then I don't know, just some of these, like, I don't know if they're, let's say if I go to two-handed,
I'm just trying to figure out
and
what's
it
the deal
adds
with
it.
these people in your guild. Why do they suck so bad? I thought maybe they were Gen Z or Gen Alpha. If they're
I
old
don't know,
people.
it seemed
Because
like
if they
most of
couldn't
them
read,
had
that would make
kids.
sense why they have to have this quest helper. Because we were talking about, like, if kids today, they're probably expecting they go to work and they're expecting their job's going to have, like, a quest icon above the guy's heads and you go over here and do this. But nobody knows what they're doing anymore. Everybody's just a fucking idiot.
Well, let me see if I could find someone who's, I don't know, maybe there's a guild.
So you said you were getting pre-bisque gear for a raid, and then wanted you to put an enchant on a green or something?
Yeah. So, like, if you look at my gear, the only two things that I have good that I got in the last 2 days were these blue swords from quests.
Yeah, everybody had
And
those. It's like rogue
every,
shit or hunter
yeah, it's
shit.
fine.
It's
But
like
then you
really
have
good.
like these boots. These boots are like best in slot pre-raid, right? So they want me to have all my best in slot pre-raid gear, which would be from all these different
I mean,
dungeons
it's all
and like,
strength agility. What else do you need?
and that's all I have. So some of the green gear that I'm wearing is like 1 or 2 points off from being the best it could be if I was to get like something from a raid.
How is
So I'm
marksman
not.
not better DPS with all that agility? Because you're gonna be like just single tapping, like whatever. What's it called? Regular shooting your bow or your gun.
Well, it's like Blizzard kind of fucked up
Auto
again.
shot.
So like I have you get these runes. You like kill enemies and you get different runes. So you can apply the rune to like my feet here. So dual wield specialization. So your offhand like you do more damage with your Raptor Strike, and it makes your Raptor Strike have a no cooldown, or it goes from having like a 10-second cooldown to like a 3-second cooldown, and then it has a chance when you crit that your next Raptor Strike will be free and will cost no mana, no cooldown. So I just literally just made a macro. If I go slash macro,
So this server you're playing now is not the one where the guild was on. You're talking about.
no, I wasn't a guild here. I just left the guild. That's why I was saying, like, why would I be staying in a guild with a bunch of idiots who are telling me I can't even raid before I can ask, like, some. They said I had to go to Warcraft logs.
But this one was the max 4 level 40 though, right? You said the guy was level
No, no,
70.
I was playing on WoW Classic, Wrath of Lich King, like, back in December, and I thought maybe that had left, like, oh, okay, I can understand people want me to have best in slot before we go do Ulduar or something, you know. Then I joined this server, which is a 1 to 40 server, and it's basically the same shit. Like, everybody here is whining that, like,
Is any of them in town where you can inspect your gear and see what they got on?
I think I'm in Thunder Bluff, so a lot of people here have, like, crappy gear, but let's see if I can find. Yeah, this guy's got something from, yeah, look, he's got epics, so he's
Gadget Zone or
only,
something?
these are
Distant Pendant. What
they
the
made
fuck
a
is that?
raid out of Nomergon and made it, like, epics and stuff. Yeah, he's got epic stuff.
Gizmo Blade, Necrogonomicon. What are all these fucking items? Those are weird.
It's from the it's so they expanded like Nomergon. So Nomergon's a dungeon, and then they made a raid equivalent to it, made it like more harder and like new fights and added new
Alright.
bosses and stuff. And so I thought it would be cool. Yeah, this guy's got hot streak on his yellow or no, his green glove. So that's just basically look at this. He's got shitty green gloves that maybe have plus 20 fire damage, so maybe that's his
That's a
best
belt, yeah.
slot. It's a belt, yeah, sorry. But, like, this gear is better than my gear, but it's like, it's still mostly like blues and shit that they're going to replace really soon. Level cap's is gonna come out like next week or next Tuesday or whatever.
How much gold do you
All
have?
of this epic shit this guy has is just gonna get replaced, like you're saying.
So where's these people that you said they hit level 40 and they couldn't afford a mount? And they're like, how did you afford to have a mount at level 40?
That person has a mount. I'm just.
Was that like the other server?
No, this was the server. Let me go to Ogremar. I'll just go.
Is it 100 gold for mount, for the regular mount on there? It's like 90 or 100 gold, right?
What is that? Did you just give a guy a log box?
Yep.
What was that?
I don't want to give him gold, so I've just been giving him items.
How does he know what
he's
you
probably
even want? What the fuck was that?
He's a guy that to make all his money. He's been here for 8 hours or something, where he just sat and he just teleports people, and he's asking for tips. He's one of those teleport whores, those mages. Look, some random dude just traded me a random necklace and some greens. What the fuck? You want me to pay for this? I don't know what this guy wants. Fuck off.
This is weird.
Austin's in the RMT business. He's getting doxxed on stream or whatever. Those are you Chinese.
I'm not streaming.
Chinese
I'm recording
farmers
to post it later, so nobody's seeing this.
Yeah.
No one's seen it right now. Yeah.
I thought
Ogremar it is like 7 in the morning, but like Ogremar was packed.
So we had a theory that everybody's wanting the best gear because they're all watching Asmongold go around whirlwinding everything to death, whatever he does with his super barbarian characters or warriors. So everybody thinks that's how you should play. They don't know how to like pull mobs right or crowd control. Because everybody like watches streamers do a bunch of crazy shit and they think that's just how the game's played and they don't know what they're doing. Trying to figure out the reason why people suck at WoW when it's been out 20 years or whatever, right? How long is it
So
out?
this guy's got an epic blacksmithing helmet, epic neck. He's got the same shoulders that I have because they're like, these green shoulders are actually better than all the other epics.
Is this guy one of the idiots you're talking about? Like, show me the idiots.
I don't know how to like, unless you just find one that's like in chat talking. But this guy has all the best. So like, okay, so I'm currently raid locked.
Are they doing like pub raids?
Yeah, so they're doing pug raids, and they're demanding before you can go to the pug raid, you have to link your achievement that you've already done the raid, to be able to do the pug raid. Like,
how would you have done the raid already if they have all these requirements?
They tell you have to go join a guild and go run the dungeon, and then like link your Warcraft logs of how good you did in the dungeon before they will even invite you to the pug. If that makes any sense.
What's sad is it's been like that since the original Wrath of Lich King.
Yeah.
I experienced that.
Wow.
Like, you need this amount of gear score. You need your achievements. To do the dungeon you're trying to do, you need to have done it before. So, like, if you have
a bad raid where you maybe sucked one day, it's just going to be on your permanent record or something? Like, nobody's ever
that's how Warcraft logs work. That's why people get so mad now. Like, I was playing on my healer. I'll show you here. Let me go log out. Oh, actually, it's not here. I gotta go back to...
It says what's wrong with the world today. Add-ons is similar to, like, the way we keep making laws when we don't need laws for stuff. Now we get all these people... Like, life was too easy. So now everybody's like... What's that saying? Easy times make hard people make easy times make shit people. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about. I need to update, but I'll show you, like, my other character. So, the reason my other characters, like my priest, have, like, pure epic gear that's fully enchanted is because I fell for this, like, trap, essentially. I joined a guild on my priest, and they told me I can't come to raid, I can't heal anybody unless I would like have a good parse. So that's what it is. It's called parsing. So you go
Parse.
to like, yeah, I don't know how exactly, but
Like they take
so if
all
you
the
were-
stats and they parse it for the individual, and then you have like, what do you? It's like a report card or like something
yeah,
like
it's
a
like a report
resume.
card of how good you did. Yeah. So if you want to join
Yeah.
some of these bigger guilds who actually are like the guys who clear dungeons like super fast, they won't bring you at all unless you have like a good parse record, and they can look you up on Warcraft logs and stuff.
And they check your gear score, your gear, and everything. This is like I was saying how women look for guys wearing wedding rings because they've already shown themselves to be worth being a husband. So that's how they find people they want to sleep with by looking for the wedding ring because he's already married. Or like saying you have to have 30 years experience at a job that's only been around for 20 years, or you're only like 20 years old, or just out of high school. Like, how would you get experience if you have to have experience to get experience to get the job, to have the experience to have the job that you're applying for? Makes no sense.
Yeah. So if you're looking at this character here, I'm on this server I'm on is probably a dead server or something, but all of my gear is all mostly all epic. I think it's because I have like the best in slot, whatever it is, right? You can see. But like, this is Gruul's Eye, so I had to grow to Gruul's Lair for that. But I remember in the guild that I was in at the time, I don't know if I'm in a guild. No, I'm not. They kicked me out. Like, where a lot of these guilds, like in the past, wouldn't kick their players out. You could be gone for like 2 years and come back and like you still be in the same guild, whatever, right? But this guild that I'm in, or was in, kicked me out probably because I was inactive for like a few months.
I
They're
noticed
like,
like
so-
on Arcades they would have an update, and then the update you'd have to like go into your My Documents or something, delete a file, or it wouldn't start the game right. So I was out for like a week and a half, 2 weeks because I couldn't get the game to start, and when I got back in, they kicked me. So I messaged them, they re-invited me, and then it's done it several times. I've been like out of the game for 3 or 4 weeks probably, and I got back on. I'm still in the guild now, so I guess the leaders never play. Everybody just quit playing, so nobody's like enforcing any rules.
But like this primal mooncloth, I had to make myself. So like I used to have engineering mining. The guild that I was in was like, you have to have primal mooncloth to heal. We will not let you come to raid unless you have like full primal mooncloth. But to get that, because it's like you can't buy it. You have to craft it as a tailor yourself. I then had to spend weeks, like every cooldown, to use my tailoring cooldown to make like a piece of primal mooncloth.
Jeez.
Oh,
And it took me like
Where do you
3
get
months
the
or
spider
something.
suit from?
Nether spiders or something, and they're
Isn't
like,
that like
I had
molten
to,
core or something?
no, this is TBC, so like I would have to go and farm like,
Do you turn your
Spiders
hat
and
on? I
nether
want to see what
storm.
that hat looks like.
I think it's a Pope hat. I'm pretty sure it looks like a Pope hat.
It's pretty sick.
Options, interface options.
what? And this just in, T2's coming back to WoW. Hype, hype, hype.
I'm not gonna fuck that shit. This is making me want to less. I already didn't want to.
He's gonna be make a guild, and you're not gonna be able to get in unless you're a T2 subscriber with 17 years experience.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, some of these guilds, T2, I think this is what my hat looks like. It's just kind of like on the back of my head.
I don't care how good their gear is. 20 or 30 level 18 rogues is still going to kill them. As long as
Like, for
every
instance-
3 or 4 people get a hit in, you're going to die.
If I inspect this guy, for instance, like look, he's got the XP buff for 50% increase. That's still active even after all this time. Like Blizzard never turned it off. So this guy's got random gear like greens, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was to join like a reason to have it, this gear isn't enchanted and doesn't have sockets in it, or it doesn't have gemstones in his sockets. But, like that's fine. It's a level 61 and he's level 70, so he would probably not be able to go do any raiding. Like people would inspect him and be like, the assholes kind of like Asmongold inspect you and be like, your gear's shit, get out of my guild, you know. And it's like, but it's become like, then you have to have this gear basically. This guy looks like he's got full epic. Look, it's got the best in slot enchants, best gems. Like this is
Why would he
thousands
need to
of
do a
gold.
raid though now? He's already got everything.
That's the thing. Some of these guys are like so addicted to WoW even though they have all their best in slot, they still show up. Like, I remember when I was in this other guild, there was a guy on the phone. We were all Discord, and you could hear the guy driving down the road, and he's like, "Oh, I'm coming home from work. I'm on the highway, and I got several more miles until I get home." And the guildmaster is like, sounds like a fat nerdy kid yelling at this old man, "You better get home really fast, or we're gonna kick you. We're gonna kick you for being late."
He's gonna have a wreck because of some like peer pressure.
Oh my.
Oh god, the cops pulled me over, I'm fucked.
And then like,
I lost my license because
Just run it, fuck it.
so
Shooting at the cops.
50 DKP minus.
this is my rogue. You were just talking about rogues. Like this rogue, I didn't even bother joining a guild. I got like best in slot for level 60 on this guy, but this was like a love of the game. Like, I just wanted to get this so that I could do good PvP, because PvP on a rogue was like fun.
Yeah.
I leveled my engineering. That's fun. But like, I didn't really give a shit about having like all of my gear with the best enchants and stuff. I just wanted to have fun, right?
Yeah.
The whole point of the fucking game. But then if I was to take this level 60 and try to join one of these guilds, they would tell me, "Oh, your gear isn't good enough," or something. Even though I know for sure that I could fucking do some good DPS. But it has to be like, you don't realize how bad it was, T2. Like, before you would go to raid, you would have to have like every single world buff that exists. There would be like the Zandalari world buff, and like the one for turning in Nixia's head, and the one turning in Nefarian's head, and you would have to have like all of those world buffs, and like just to get into the guild,
People
to
just
do
that
the
bad?
raid.
What's the deal?
And your flask. And your DM
flask,
buff.
and your DM buffs, yeah. And I used to have to pay hundreds of gold every raid night because
Oh, and Rend. The Rend buff too.
and the Ren buff, yeah. So like there would be these gold farmers who already got the heads of these creatures, and then would just keep them in their banks, and they would be like giving Rend buff 100+ gold, and people would walk up and like pay it just so they could like get a buff. And the buff could be purged off you by enemy players, or when you die you lose them, right? So
What
there was
the
guilds
hell?
that I was in where every single person would have like, you'd probably find it if you looked up like a Asmongold video, but basically everybody in the guild had such overpowered gear and buffs, there was almost like no chance of failure because they were so overpowered. But the guilds would say you had to have that to even come into the raid. So it's like these old boomers.
My God. So kids aren't even, well, I don't even know if it's kids, but like people are not allowed to experience failure. They're not allowed to learn from their mistakes. They're not allowed to like figure out what they did wrong so they can improve.
Yeah.
So nobody ever gets good because they just try to like game the system to where they can't lose beforehand.
Yeah, so
I
it's
mean,
like essential.
Wasn't there something saying about war, like the battle is won or lost before the first strike even happens? You know, like you're supposed to like plan. You don't go into a battle if you don't know you're already going to win. Kind of. I mean, it's kind of smart. I mean, it's the idea of it, but
Yeah, but now they're like addicted to WoW, but they play it in a way where it's like this pussy behavior where they're like, "Oh, I'm not even going to attempt to do the dungeon or the raid until I have the most overpowered like PoEs that money can buy from the auction house."
I mean, like, what do they get out of the raid though? If they already have everything as high as it could possibly be.
It's the parse. They're like obsessed with parsing. So like, they're, for instance, like I was a healer. I just showed you my priest. People would get mad at me because let's say they die, right? And they're like, "You didn't heal me. I lost my world buffs." And I'm like, "I'm here healing the tank, and you pulled aggro because you blew all your cooldowns like a dumbass, and you're expecting me to like save you?" And they're like, "But I gotta get my parse up." So they're like, but they have to blow all their cooldowns every boss encounter because they're trying to keep their average parse rate above a certain threshold. Because certain guilds wouldn't even let you into the guild if if your Warcraft logs wasn't good enough or something like that.
So,
I
like,
don't-
if the level cap's going up, they're trying to get their parse up before the level cap, because then they got a new raid they can get improvements on, and they can't get into a guild unless they have a high parse rate. So you letting him die kept him from getting into a guild a week from now. Or something
something like that.
They're like seeing into the future and like making decisions based on ifs and ands or buts and all kinds of. It just seems crazy.
It is kind of crazy. Well, I was just thinking it's like retarded. Like they're not even playing the game to have fun. Like where we, like initially, like okay, so I'll give you
So
an
it's
idea.
not that they're too dumb; they're just too smart, which makes them dumb. They've gone full circle. They've gone so smart that they become dumb again. They're overthinking it too much, I guess.
Well, to give you an idea, like when I go to the auction house, the reason that a lot of that gear is selling for like so much, like Pendulum of Doom is a level 39 axe, and it was selling for over 1,000 gold on the auction house the other day.
That's the
And
reason I don't
Tuesday-
play like Call of Duty type games, because everybody's so twitchy and so good at those first world shooters now. It's like you don't have fun anymore.
No,
I don't even understand what's happening if I watch a video of somebody there's like, pew 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 pew. They shoot in a tiny corner of a window that's like 50% transparent. You can't even see what's behind it, but they saw like a tiny pixel move and they shot a guy in the head. Like Rainbow Six Siege, same thing. It's like I don't understand. Like everything's going so fast. It's not even close to like what real war looks like. Like if you watch like videos of people in Iraq or Afghanistan or something. So the gamification of it is too extreme. I don't know. Maybe that's
See if
why
I
all
can
the new
find you a
games
video.
are starting to suck, because people are trying to make new games based on the new meta. If you don't like keep up with it, like I didn't play Path of Exile last league, so the next league is going to be twice as much new shit I got to learn if I do play. So
they
maybe
call
I'll
it the
just
meta,
skip it.
right? It's like you've got to have the meta, and then like people think you're shit now. They're like, oh, you want to have fun and play the game, and you've never played WoW before? And you're like,
Like you're saying, they have this quest helper, so they don't have to devote any of their brain cells to memorizing the quest or like the most efficient way of doing it. So what are they using those brain cells on instead?
most of them are just smoking weed. Like when I was in the other Discord, everyone had, you could hear people's like bubblers going off constantly. They're just like intoxicated with like retardation.
I mean, on one hand, it makes me feel like bad that America's sucking now. On the other hand, I feel like it gives me an advantage because I'm not doing that. So I'm like, it should be easy for me to find a job because everybody else sucks so hard. All I got to do is put up any kind of effort, and everybody will be like, "Holy shit, this guy's trying!" I'm like, hire him, give him a raise, put him in charge. And like, I used to give a shit, and I used to care about making the world a better place, and like caring about people. But now I've seen so many people that are just complete shitty assholes. I just don't really care about people anymore. So I don't care if the world goes to shit. So I don't know. I am confused.
I am kind of confused because it's like we go back to classic WoW was kind of like one of those games that I feel was like made me obsessed with like if I like literally I played classic WoW for years. Like I don't even have retail installed because it's like retail whatever they did, it like killed the addictive nature for WoW for me. They had to bring back like classic for me to want to play WoW again. Now, the people who played retail are now like in the ones playing classic, and they're trying to like turn it into retail again. Where they're like, oh, we don't want to have to use our brains or explore. Like half of these people, they, like I said, they'd use. Let me just find it for you. I was using a guide earlier because I was wondering what the fuck is these people gonna.
So many games, like, they used to be good, and then people tried too many improvements. Like DayZ, perfect example. Standalone DayZ is just complete garbage fire compared to Armor 2 mod DayZ.
Oh, Rogers was watching it, the video that you didn't want to watch, and he thought it was hilarious because like Stimpy was fucking with people, with, like, but everybody who's playing it's like a retard who doesn't like. Rogers, you're there, right? You're mute. Oh, your mic's mute.
Yeah, I'm here.
You watch the video, these people are like walking up to Stimpy like, "Oh hi, how are you?" And everyone's trying to like
Yeah.
role play and stuff,
Social
and
butterfly.
they're like social butterflies. But then, if you tried to do that in original like
I mean,
DayZ Arma, you'd get shot immediately.
it's because it would take so long to walk across the map. Like you wouldn't want to risk somebody killing you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do anything
These-
stupid like that.
But then these people like Stimpy was like tricking them and killing them, and then they're like whining about it, and they're like, "Why'd you kill me?" Like, I was like, "Why do you expect? You're playing like a PvP game."
That's what I was thinking about when I was hunting mushrooms this morning. It's like there's so many laws. It's like there's so many add-ons. Same kind of thing. Laws and add-ons are kind of similar. It's made it to where women can sue men no matter. That's why men are like not wanting to date women anymore, because it's just not worth it to like lose half of your money. You can get sued or like have to pay alimony or child support or any of this kind of bullshit. So everybody wants more control over their bodies and over other people, and like they never want to be offended and never want to have anything bad happen to them. They never want to get swindled. They don't want to lose, like, because it feels bad. People don't want to feel bad, so they make laws where you never have to feel bad. And eventually it's going to be where, like, okay, I know you're going to, like, sue me, so I'm going to try to figure out a way to trap you into a way I can sue you again to get my money back because you sued me and took half my money. So it's like, it's just, we're going to make more laws to, like, trap each other, and it's like a whole web where nobody can do anything or move because there's so many laws.
Yeah. So like, check out my stream. I'll show you what I was basically.
Like, we used to have, like, people didn't care about keeping their kids in the house. Like, your kids would just run free range. I used to like leave and be gone for hours. My mom never knew where I was. I would go like down to the creek and I would catch crawdads. And like, I remember one time I walked all the way to my grandpa's house. It's like, if you got into a car, it'd take you like a couple of minutes to drive there. And I was gone. Like, they didn't know where I was. Nobody cared back then.
You didn't have a cell phone back then?
And like my friend from Kurdistan, he was saying like, America sucks. I hate it here. It's like, tired. I want to go back home because everything here is like everything closes like 8 o'clock and there's nowhere to eat and nobody walking around and you can't make friends with anybody. And it used to be like in the 80s, people would walk around and be outside. Now nobody just leaves their house. They all just stay inside because internet, TV, and phones. So they just stare at their screens and they don't want their kids possibly having any kind of interaction with an adult. See all these videos of people like filming outside, you know, like auditors or whatever, and they're all like, "You can't take pictures of children. That's against the law." Like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? You never heard of Disney World? Like, kids can be having their picture taken. It's like anybody in public can. It doesn't make any sense. Like, people are so afraid of, like, their kids getting raped or something. Like, why? Where's all this paranoia all of a sudden?
Well, because people's kids do get raped and kidnapped and stuff. But like, did it not
because the
used to
internet
happen,
exists, we
and then
see, like,
now it happens more often or something? Or
I don't think it happens as much as everybody said. We just see it because we have the internet now.
okay.
It's like there used to be people getting killed all the time, supposedly. Like, New York was supposed to be. Well, like, holy shit, New York's gone, like, shut down.
Oh, yeah, I
All
was
these
just
stores have
talking
been
about
leaving
that.
New York because of all the crime. People are just
Yeah,
running in and
'cause of
stealing
thieves.
shit.
That's crazy. Oh, talking about DayZ though. I brought this up to Austin right before you got on here. We need to bring back the troll toll bridge.
Yeah, we were just talking about in DayZ where you used to break people's legs and like
Oh,
tap
yeah.
them out there.
Did he- We need to get on there and find a bridge and do that and like stream it for good times.
I don't know about that. That was
Well,
hard to do. That's because everybody kept spawning next to that one bridge, so I was able to do that.
Yeah.
Bear trap them, and then they tried to kill themselves by dropping 5 feet off the bridge repeatedly.
You remember that game Zero Online? I just looked that up the other day. I was see if there's a possible way to play it again. It's kind
the
of like
mech
Diablo with mechs, yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun, except like people at high level were just too overpowered. They just one shot you by accident, just walking past you. They didn't have some kind of AoE minion that would just kill anything around. Oh, you happen to be a guy 10 levels lower than me? Kill him.
Look at my stream for a minute. I'll just show you like what I was talking about. Where everybody uses Wowhead now, and they don't even think there's like all of your leveling guides for every class as a leveling guide.
Rogue
So I
tank?
click
What
on-
the fuck's a rogue tank?
Yeah, there's a rogue tank now for Season of Discovery. So like they actually have rogues tanking bosses.
They just dodge all the attacks or
They
something?
dodge all the attacks, yeah. Like roll with the punches. But then, so like with this one here, this is my hunter. There's like 3 different classes. The range is like the lowest DPS. Then the best DPS is the melee hunter. But you see how they've figured out what's exactly the best possible like combination of things. But then no one ever thinks outside the box. Whereas like
Zero Online is not no, it's no more.
Yeah.
oh, they've
It's
shut it
gone.
down.
Same with Crimecraft, Gang Wars. It's gone.
Yeah, they shut that down too.
Some of the best games we'll never see.
But see, like, look at this. For instance, it has recommended. So, like, for me, I have the Imperial Cloak. And that's good enough, right? It should be good enough. And, like, I can't get
What's the best
anything
cloak?
better. Best cloak comes out of the raid. So, but then the best cloak here, it comes from a rare spawn in Arathi Highlands. So people were expecting me to, well, you better go farm that rare spawn until it fucking drops your best in slaughter.
So that's
not
why
from the
they're like
raid.
taking so long to level. They're just sitting and waiting for rare spawns to appear.
I guess so. There's like some of this gear that only comes out of the raids, and then like this piece of gear that I have is from a hard quest lane, but it's still a green. I'm just thinking if Tuesdays when the update's gonna come out, that's gonna make there's gonna be like a level 41 item that's gonna be better than this. Like, why would I need to go through so much headache?
You gotta be exalted with a faction for that one. 4 Stalker
Yeah.
Bracers.
Yeah, for instance, these ones, there's the battleground. So people are actually running the battleground to get exalted with it, to wear like different pieces of gear. Like there's this ring.
But you don't get any
Or-
levels where you're doing PvP.
Yeah, you don't get any levels when you're doing PvE, and that's probably why a lot of them are still like low level.
I
Because
really
there's
think like a couple of points in something is gonna make that big of a difference.
they think so.
It's all
It's
about like knowing how to play and working as a team and not being a noob.
It's not really about that anymore. It's about like pumping.
They're
the
afraid of
best.
having a close call. Like, oh, we just barely got through that and somebody died and they lost their buff that they paid 100 gold for. Just don't pay for
We
the
need
buff
to
and then
play.
you just practice like without.
Yeah, this is another.
I mean, I know it's
Turtle
annoying to
Wow.
run back when you die because if you have a bad
Turtle,
day-
wow.
Yeah, you keep saying turtle wow, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. It's like maybe you're right, Rogers.
better.
Yeah.
They got their own raids they put in. You can raid Karazhan crypts and stuff. And
Oh yeah, Blizzard was
always
gonna.
building onto it.
Blizzard was actually
Or
going
we could
to
just
come up with that.
go back to Project 1999 EverQuest.
You know how they're talking about making TikTok illegal and stuff?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I think they need to start making all this shit illegal, like marijuana, TikTok, all this
Dude,
stuff that's
what's up
making
with
people the fucking losers.
What is up with that monkey app that you linked the video?
Let's not worry about
What
that.
is
I'm
that?
still making this video right now.
Making a video.
This video popped up on my algorithm. I don't know. So black
Just
people
the
like.
weirdest shit. Yeah.
The black people only app or something?
I don't know what that is.
It's like
Edit this
fine.
part
Or,
out.
Yeah, just stop the video here. It's already long enough.